it makes real estate exciting. It's like a revive of fire that we can make the marketing of real estate become really exciting again.
So you were in property for 14 years, right? And then you guys started doing social media because I mean, obviously, I've not heard about you before you started doing social media. What made you guys started? Okay, first of all, when did you guys started the social media, and what made you guys started it? What was the motivation behind?
Right. So we started social media in year 2017. About 12 years back, that was the time that the property portals came into place. And of course, the largest, most dominant property portal in Singapore now is Property Guru. And following which other portals like 99.co, SRX, and other portals came on board as well. So for a good 12 years from last time until now, I think this has been the predominant way that people look for properties. It is the natural default way that if I want to look for property, I'll go onto the portals. It becomes like my search engine. I can key in my filter and search for properties that suits my own criteria. There was a realization about 5 years back. We saw a shift. Why? Because we were also doing marketing and prospecting, and at the same time, advertising on the other hand. So marketing and prospecting for, of course, customers and helping our clients to advertise their properties using other offline means like flyers and all that. Then using the portals to advertise online. So we started to realize a shift that the response and the ROI has dipped. And that caused us to ponder like what is the main reason. And of course, that time we were using iPhones and stuff. And of course, there was a rise in the social media platform, Facebook and all that kind of stuff. We started to realize that, hey, it seems that everybody's attention now is on their phone. Then, you know, what should be done? What should we do? I think about 3.5 years to 4 years ago, then I started to look at what other countries are doing, right? I started to look at what US is doing, what Australia is doing. And then I just realized that you know, even like when those countries post their stuff on Airbnb is radically different. In terms of tech, those guys are probably 3 to 5 years ahead of us. And we have not even moved there yet. So about 3 years ago, we realized that, hey, we need to do something different because we felt that we were very limited in the way that we can help our clients to market their properties. It is like a waiting game. Most common method to market a property would be to go in, use your phone, take photographs, and then you put on the portals, and you have to wait. That means we can't do anything. We just wait and then wait for buyers to respond, to call us, then we answer the phone. We also saw some people doing videos, but they were mainly like panning kind of videos or some like slideshows and stuff. So we started to ponder, hey, is there another way to do this? And that sort of gave rise to the idea that, hey, why don't we be inside the video? Let's do like a real viewing, and then we showcase the property, and then that gives us a chance to tell a story, the chance to bring out the plus points that are unseen on static photographs. So the first video came about in 2017, and then I started to advertise that on Facebook as well and YouTube. And we sold the property in 30 days, and we were shocked because that was the first time we ran Facebook ads. And when the buyer called, the buyer said that, hey, I saw this ad, and she was at the shopping center, and she said that, oh, I saw this ad when I was having coffee. Can I have a look at the property? And then she came like the couple of days later. She saw the place. She said that, hey, I already viewed the video before. I just want to see this. I like the layout, I like the renovation, and she bought it. So we started to do for the second one and the third one. And the results were great because via this form of marketing, I think it just adds a lot of different credibility and different interesting content kind of angle to the property itself. From then on, we were quite sure that this will be the way forward, and which is why we decided to go deeper into it.
You know, I really love what you shared earlier when you were saying that you were just looking at what other countries are doing. And I think we are very aligned there because like even in my class, sometimes I run classes here and there, and I always teach people in terms of marketing, you cannot just look at what people in Singapore is doing. We are not a trendsetter ever. And I always like to use the example of like even in fashion, right? Like in the past, Singaporeans would follow like Japanese hairstyle. Now we are following Korean hairstyle. We are never a trendsetter, we are a trend follower. And in terms of marketing, there's one country that's doing super well, and that's US. And a lot of things that I do, right? Like sometimes people say like I get a lot of results for my clients, and you know they think they're like I'm some super genius whatsoever. But the truth is that I always tell them that, no, I just look at what people in US doing and I just like model what they do. And what was interesting was that I think that you guys were one of the first few that were willing to model people overseas, like what you mentioned. If you guys started doing all this social media, all this video stuff at 2017, so that's about 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, it means that you have already been in the property market for 10 years, right? At least 10 years, right? Because right? Yes.
If we count from the day we start, it's about 14. Oh yeah, I mean 10 years. Then we started this.
10 years that you started the social media,
Yes.
correct? So you know, I think one of the hardest thing when I talk to people, and you know, for me is it's not just selling my class or whatsoever. I have this mission to increase or raise the standard of marketing in Asia, in Southeast Asia. So I realize that we are really lacking behind, especially in Singapore. Honestly, a lot of industry is lacking behind, and I think one of the biggest challenges is always people are stuck in their old times. You know, especially people who have been in the industry for 10 years. Oh, this has always been the way it's done. And they don't want to explore new things. And the other thing is because like sometimes when you explore new things, it doesn't always guarantee it will work. So for example, like social media, you got to invest in the video. I mean, initially when you don't know where it's going to work, right? You got to invest in the video, you got to put it up, you got to run ads. Like there are certain risks that you have to take. And you're not very sure whether it's going to work. But what made you still decide to do it? What makes both of you still decide to go ahead and do it?
Right. So I think there's multiple factors. Probably one of the factors is that yes, at the start when we were doing this, there were a lot of people who were saying that, well, you are doing really a lot of extra things. You know, some people in the same industry are saying, well, you're going through all this trouble. You know, it's just like a property. You can just take photographs. The buyers will come on. Why do you have to go through all this trouble, right? Then, of course, there were people who pour water on us as well, negative comments, and because naturally I'm not a very good speaker. I have broken English and stuff like that. Yeah. And people will sometimes say, hey, your English is cannot make it, and all this kind of stuff. So there were challenges at the start. Yes, we were also testing out a lot of things, like, you know, should we put subtitles? You know, what kind of music should we choose? What kind of sequence should the home tour be? What kind of script do we use? And then do we only just want to do home tour, or do we want to do other more value-adding content as well to benefit the community? And as you say, through time also we have this sort of like vision that, hey, actually when we are doing this, we are also like helping to raise the standard of the industry. Yeah. And that also form part of our passion as well. So I think a combination of factors is probably the most strong motivation will be from the point that we're doing this to help our customers better, because we always want to remind ourselves that in the past we feel very limited, that we do not have many channels of marketing the property, but now we found a channel and it works for our customers. And whenever we try to remind ourselves that, hey, we are doing this to help our customers, because at the end of the day, the person that benefits the most is our customer. And that gives us the drive to not be fearful, because we have a lot of fear of, I mean, in the past, we probably have fear of what other people will say, other people's opinion, or whether are we wasting money for no reason. Yeah. And we have to run ads. We don't know how to run ads, and we have to, like, you know, knock walls and stuff. So there were a lot of times at the start that, yes, there were a lot of late nights. You know, we have to learn from YouTube, Google, and there's a lot of online learning and stuff and then spending money, burning cash. Yeah, so I think the drive will be, hey, we want to do something different for the customer, and it's exciting. It makes real estate exciting. It's like a revive of fire that, you know, we can make the marketing of real estate become really exciting again. Yeah. So we don't want to go back to the old days that we feel very limited. I think that's the driving force.
Yeah. You know, on that note, right?